Yeah, so Athenlite can't have a heart attack. That's just, no.
Okay, wait. Where is...
Marissa, do you have any quotes?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Marissa is going to read a quote, and we're going to discuss. Casey.
Yes, you read ahead.
You guys are so irritating. Okay, so Marissa is going to read a quote, and then we are going to discuss it, because that is what we do in lit circles.
Yes.
No, I'm really... You guys can discuss. I'm just really confused about this.
Okay,
so I need to check it out.
Marissa, quote.
So the one that I thought was the most important of the two quotes that I picked was, sometimes Athenlite worried that Owen dallied with him solely so that he could whisper in Athenlite's ear about campus-wide environmental initiatives. Do you think that that's actually what's going on?
No, I
Is
don't.
Athenlite just paranoid?
I think Athenlite is a little insecure about the whole relationship. I mean, because, people are insecure, and Owen does talk about this stuff, but I do think Owen has more invested in this than just making Westchester a green college.
Well, I mean, also he's leaving, so...
But I think Athenlite does have a reason to worry about this, because he is a student at the college and Athenlite is the president, so therefore it does kind of make sense, I guess.
No, I mean there's a lot of consequences to student-teacher relationships, but we don't think Owen's motive is making Westchester a green college.
I don't think so, but I'm just saying that there is.
I think he might be using that a little bit. I think he wants that, and since he's spending all this time with the president of the college, he's going to tell the president of college about it. I don't think it's connected to them sleeping together. I just think that that's what Owen wants, and he doesn't really see the issue in trying to get something even though he's sleeping with him. He has kind of separated them, I think Owen has. It's I'm sleeping with him. But, on the other hand, I want him to, do green stuff, and they just happen to coexist at the same time.
I feel like this might be a little far-fetched, but I feel like Athenlite, in a way, almost wants Owen to be using him, because as long as he's using him, then he has to keep doing that until he can get that through. And also, it gives him an excuse to be insecure about Owen and to have this, oh, he's probably just doing it for this reason, and he can't possibly like me just because. And I feel like it's just Athenlite's own insecurities that are causing that.
He wants a reason to be insecure about all of this.
Where did we begin this?
I don't know. Wherever we ended the last one. 58, maybe?
Okay, so you guys know Owen had extra drugs.
And gave them to Schwartz.
And gave him to Schwartzy. So he took those with the champagne, so they know about that.
All right, that's all I need to know. So the champagne was after they won regionals.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was confusing regionals and nationals. So.
Wait, is he gonna get messed up because he took champagne and those drugs?
I don't think so. I think he's hooked on narcotics, and that's the bigger problem.
Yeah, he's got addiction to pain medications.
Oh yeah,
It's
most definitely.
House. Give me a connection. He's like House.
I thought of House immediately.
House.
I thought of my dad, actually. Not because he's addicted, but because he's on a bunch of pain medications and he hates it because he had back surgery.
Because he probably doesn't like that they...
Well, he hates having to take medication.
Yeah. So, I think we should also talk about Henry just, falling down into an abyss of depression and peas and Gatorade bottles.
It makes me so... This is so depressing, reading about Henry.
It's really upsetting me because I was like, oh, I like all
And I really want him to get better.
I switched on almost all the characters. I didn't really like Athenlite in the beginning, and I kind of didn't like Pella. I'm still kind of iffy about Pella. Yeah. But, I liked Mike and I liked Henry, and now they're both... Mike is addicted to pain medication.
I don't really like Mike.
And
I love him.
I don't anymore, and he's kind of an asshole.
Dude, I feel really bad for him too, because... Except I feel like Mike does have this thing where he thinks he needs to be the best, and if he can't be the best, then he doesn't want to be anything.
Yeah, there's a quote about that in there.
And also there was a quote that was like, those who can't do, coach.
Yeah.
Kind of like those who can't do, teach, and those
funny.
who can't teach, gym.
That quote that those who can't do teach has always pissed me off.
It has always pissed me off,
Because
too.
teaching is harder than doing.
Yeah.
Teaching well is harder than doing it.
Yeah.
Those who can't teach gym totally makes sense.
But, I like church. But it was funny to me. I was laughing a little bit because Mike is wanting to have his like eternal monologue rants about Henry, and he's like, if Henry was here, Henry's joy would be total. His holy fool dancing would put the Buddhas to shame, but Henry wasn't here. He hadn't pushed through that one last barrier. His fears of succeeding, beyond which the world lay totally open to him. Which I was like, well, that can also be said exactly about Schwartzy, because he does have that like fear of succeeding, and like he
Is this Henry talking?
Yeah, no,
this
it's
is
Mike.
Schwartzy
It's Schwartzy talking to himself, like
About
Henry, and he's like, Henry's fear of succeeding is keeping him from the world. I'm like, well, that is also true about you. You should look at yourself.
He's almost afraid to do what he's good at, which is coaching.
But yeah, why do you think he turned down the coaching job?
Yeah,
he
that's
wants to be more than that.
He wants to be more than that, and he doesn't want to do what he thinks.
How am I supposed to play with that if it's up there?
I think that's why he put it up.
I think that he wants like he almost feels like coaching and staying at Westish. Like on one hand, he'd love to do it because he'd still be part of this community, and on the other hand, it's like he wants to be more than that. He doesn't want to do what's expected of him. Like I have a quote about him in Westish. After the season, there was nothing. No baseball, no football, no meds, no apartment, no job, no friends, no girlfriend, nothing. And that is just not true. If he doesn't want Westish to end, it doesn't have to. He got offered a pretty cushy job at the athletics center.
It's as if he thinks that once college is over,
Life is over.
It's like those people where high school is the highest, like their high point in life. It's like these are the golden years. Every time I hear that, it better not be.
Yeah. Do you know Clara Butler?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Billy Butler's a twin brother, right? So she put a picture on Facebook that says, you know how people always, it's like a picture of like somebody on YouTube and said,
You know what it was? It was Hank Green in his video about advice to young adults talking about high school and questions about his past. It's a Vlogbrothers video, and I've seen it lots of times. And Claire Butler is also a nerd fighter, so it's fine. You have probably seen it too.
Which one?
The one where it's they did a couple Question Tuesday videos for a while, and one of them was like about growing up and being an adult. It's the one with the taxes in the beginning, where he's talking about taxes, and he's all like,
I don't remember if I saw
taxes
that
are like
one.
someone comes to your door and asks you if you would like to help contribute to the like economy and help build schools and get better schools and build roads and stuff, and you're like, yeah, and then the person starts beating you with a stick, and that's what paying taxes is. And then later in the video he talks about high school and has that quote, and so yeah.
it better not be.
It better not be.
This is kind of unrelated, and it might have no meaning whatsoever, but I was wondering about this. Why do you think like Owen is called by his first name and Henry is called by his first name and
Schwartzy's not.
and Schwartz isn't?
And Affenlight isn't. Affenlight is never called Gert.
Except for by Owen.
Except for by Owen.
And all of the teacher friends.
And like whenever
No, but actually,
Schwartz
all of
is
them are
talking to
referred to
people,
them.
they're all saying Mike, except then in like the narration he's Schwartz, and Henry is always Henry.
He's not always though. They refer to his Grim.
No, they except
Scrim in conversation.
Henry's almost the opposite. Like the narrator refers to him by his first name, but he's called his last name in
Yeah.
Yeah,
dialogue.
it's interesting. I like that they call Schwartzy Abuelo.
What?
I like that they call
Oh, yeah.
Schwartzy Abuelo. I have a quote about that.
You have a quote about everything.
What?
You have a quote about everything.
Oh my god, I underlined like literally half the reading. I think it's ridiculous.
Did you rip off the cover?
No. The cover, God, it was in my bag and
It's not really relevant.
yeah, it's really not. But I didn't rip it off, it fell off.
Because you're a
Okay.
terrible person. I mean, what?
Okay. Anyone have a connection?
That was me. The connections I were making along the way were not really ones other people would understand. I have a hard time making connections
That are not nerd references?
that are not, like, they're references to things I understand and can make comparisons to. It's not necessarily things you guys will understand.
Did you know that Douglas Adams, who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, also wrote for Doctor Who?
Yes, I did know that. He wrote some episodes, and I remember thinking, oh my god, it's like it's like, yeah, Neil Gaiman wrote for New Who, well, Douglas Adams wrote for Old Who, and oh my god, authors should write always on Doctor
Neil
Who.
Gaiman should always write for Doctor
Neil
Who.
Gaiman should just
And
replace Stephen Moffat.
replace Stephen Moffat
And
and
get
kill
rid
off
of
River.
Amy.
No, Amy's already
Guys,
getting.
This could not be more irrelevant.
I'm sorry. Okay, Marissa, what do you want to say?
What?
Well, you guys want to hear about some of the interesting
Yes.
superstitions
Are you
of
filming?
baseball?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
by the way, are you
I'm
doing
holding
anything
up
on
my
Sunday?
iPhone.
Sunday?
Yes,
This Sunday?
because my family has an extra ticket to the Giants game.
I have not played, but I would so totally go with you.
So what?
The Giants game. Okay, so let's hear about your connection.
Anyways, my heart just broke a little bit.
I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
So some of the
She
superstitions
can't go
that
to the Giants game because she doesn't have a play. Okay, superstitions, go.
Superstitions that I have are some players eat a particular meal before a game. Some don't groom on game day.
Brian Wilson.
The entire Harpooners team didn't shave for like 2 weeks. I'm like, that's bad.
Oh, that was one too. That you don't shave or you grow a beard. Like,
Brian Wilson. That awful, like,
the kissing of religious necklaces, making the sign of the cross or point skyward after a home run. Singing of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" after the during the seventh inning stretch.
Well, don't they
Yeah, I don't
always
know
do
why
that?
they do that.
Yeah, that's
Why
a
do they?
ritual.
Why do they do that during the seventh inning?
Yeah, that's why I don't get why
it's
it's
a
the seventh
ritual.
inning.
I think my dad explained it to me once why they did it. I just don't remember.
It's a ritual.
Are you being nice?
And this is my favorite. My favorite is they abstain from sex on game day.
That's kind of hard for them. That's a lot of time. That would be hard for Starbucks.
Yeah.
Curves and throw.
Owen definitely does not follow that.
Well, Owen doesn't really follow any
Play.
rules. I mean, he reads in the dugout.
He doesn't really play.
Well, no, he does play. Why
And
do
he's pretty good at it. Actually. Like,
Why do you think they let Owen like get away with all these things that no
I
one
talked
else
about
could
that in the
ever?
beginning.
Above it all, he doesn't. Coach Cox doesn't scare him. Schwartz, he doesn't scare him.
And mostly because they can't really do anything. It's like, you know, if you read, you won't get to play. And he doesn't really care if he plays or not. He doesn't really care if they win or they lose. I mean, well, he said that he did to Athlete for the last one.
Yeah, he's starting.
Just because it's like nationals and stuff. And he's like, well, I guess it'd be cool to win.
But like, it's not. He doesn't have like that super athlete.
He doesn't have the "this is the only thing in the world" mentality that everyone else seems to have, and then that's what's kind of trapping him, Schwartzy and Henry, because Henry's like, I can't play baseball and that my life is meaningless. And
I'm going to hang out in the bathtub for 6 hours.
I'm gonna like lay in a bathtub and not eat and pee in a Gatorade bottle that I keep next to my bed. Like, oh, it's so
Well,
weird.
also the interesting thing about Henry is that like if Schwartz hadn't discovered him and if he had just been like if he had just graduated from high school and not he wouldn't have gone to college if he hadn't gone to Westage.
He would have
And
gone to community, and
he
that's
might
it.
have gone to community college. He would like be working in an auto shop. And I marked a quote where I'm not gonna pull it up right now, but he was like when he was going on this whole like rant in his head about Schwartz, he was talking
And how they would have been
it was
just
like his dreams would have just been dreams. They would have eventually faded painlessly away.
Which
And
made me think it was like it'd be nice to have that in your mind. Like, I know I'm good enough to achieve these dreams. It's just the circumstances around me, and you can put it off. Like, you know, that's everyone else is preventing me from achieving my dreams. Which here in this case is kind of him preventing him from achieving his dreams.
Yeah, I mean, if anything else, Westish paved the way for him to achieve those dreams, and if he wasn't able to do that. Which I'm not necessarily blaming him. The kid has some pretty serious emotional issues, but he has nowhere else to put those issues.
Scoot back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's just like hiding out in Pella's apartment is
It kind of weirds me out a little bit.
it's so weird. I really want him to get out of that apartment and go have a life. But I mean, his Affenlight is trying to send him to South Carolina. So.
Yeah, which makes me sad because it means that Affenlight's not going to South Carolina.
Right, because he's afraid of Henry's.
Well, no, because like if they see him having any more contact with Owen, that's
He's
it. I mean,
screwed.
he's already screwed. But
Owen's screwed.
I'm a little nervous because Affenlight has been kind of like stepping back and like he's probably gonna like resign and then hope that like Owen will like he had talked and he was like, oh, I can move to New York with Owen and everything will be fine. And I'm a little concerned that he thinks Owen is a little more invested into this than he is, and I don't want Owen to break Affenlight's heart because I feel like Owen has that power, and since Owen
totally
kind
has
of doesn't
that
really
power.
take anything seriously, he might not take that seriously, and it really is concerning to me.
The reason he's called Buddha for a reason. I mean, he just doesn't phase him.
Does the whole school know, or was it just that one guy who's his friend?
It was those two guys. I mean, Pella knows, Henry knows, Schwartzy might know.
Henry knows, but he's not really sure what's going on. Like, he just...
I also think Henry is so deep in his own misery that he just can't bring himself to care.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like this is his roommate. Like he's been living with this guy for
Well, he
3
loves
years, and
him.
he should care about like.
What's
Because I
happening
mean,
to him?
he like I think if he had still been in baseball, he would have been really concerned
would've
about
stopped-
this.
he would've stopped
and
going
he
a
would
long
have.
time ago.
He would
Well, I
have.
don't
He
think
would.
he
Well,
would've-
he wouldn't have
I don't think
noticed
he
a long
would've
time ago, but
stopped
he.
it.
He would have been really concerned about it, and he would be like worried about Owen and what this would do to Owen and what it would do to like his scholarship and everything. But because he like failed at baseball and is so deep in his own misery, he really doesn't
He can't
have
bring
the
himself to-
capacity
yeah.
to care, which is a little depressing.
I don't necessarily think he would have stopped it because I think he
Yeah,
kinda-
maybe you're right.
He trusts. I think he trusts that Owen knows what he's doing.
But he would have noticed it more.
It would have like I don't think it's quite sunk in for him. I don't think he really like. It's like sometimes when you like see something and it takes you a while to process it, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? But it's
What
like
is
a long
happening?
time later. I think he hasn't
That
gotten
happens
that
to
point
me
yet.
all the time.
I do that. I'm like somebody will say something to me, and then I'll think about it, and then a couple days later I'll be like, wait, did they actually say? And then yeah.
Or like when you're reading a book and you're just kind of skimming along.
Oh my god, and then you go
pages
back and you're
later,
like,
and
what
I'll be
just
like-
happened?
I did that in this book where it was the texting thing. I was reading a couple pages and I got a couple pages past it. I was like, wait, did that say texting? And then I had to go back and look because.
Which is really irritating on Kindle because you can't just flip. You have to like. Okay.
To like scan up. Yeah.
So.
Okay, wait, here we go. Yeah, see, this is about. I found a quote about Henry and Owen and Affenlight. If you were a boy and you loved a girl, you could make plans together. And if you were a boy and you loved a boy, you thought of Erling and Jason Gomes on the steps of Burke Hall, heads bowed together, sharing a joy. He had no comparable image of Owen and President Affenlight to call upon. Then you could make plans together too. The world would be against you, that you would threaten you and call you names, but at least it would understand. It had words for what you were doing. But if you were Henny and he needed Mike, you were simply screwed. So yeah, I think he's a little bit too wrapped up in himself and Schwartzy to worry about Owen.
Well, I think the other thing is he does feel the guilt that he's sleeping with Pella, and he like even though and he feels no emotional connection to her, and he's like I could
Guilty.
he could. Well,
I
I think he feels
He
almost
doesn't have
empty
faith,
because he's like I can see he's like he could see himself loving her, but he doesn't.
Well-
And like Schwartz and Pella,
He says
He's
that
seen-
they're perfect for each other.
yeah, like if he had
Well,
Wait, Pella
I don't
and
know.
Henry?
no
He
Pella and
says
Schwartz.
Pella and Schwartzy.
Which I don't see
Henry
that.
thinks that they're
Pella
perfect for
and
each
Henry
other.
are not perfect.
No. Although, I mean, I think there's a little bit of the bond because
They're
the way
both-
he's
they're
feeling
both
right
perfect.
now is the way she felt with David. And I don't.
I think Pella is getting a lot more sane though, and like I feel like now that she has to care for Henry, she's really brought herself like all the way out of her own depression, and
Yeah.
now she's like taking control of her life so she can help him.
And maybe she'll stop
What?
thinking about herself as the center of the world.
That's
she
orange.
does that a lot.
It's irritating.
It is. She does kind of think that she's the only person on the planet a lot of the
Well,
time.
but I mean, the way she's, I guess we could talk about, like, do you guys think the way she's treating Henry and what, like, the way she's caring for him, do you think that's the responsible way to take care of someone who is as deeply depressed as Henry is?
I think she made a good point in there when she was talking, and she was like, I think someone who's tougher and hasn't been in the
Hasn't been
situation
depressed,
should
yeah.
help.
Yeah, because she's seen him. I mean, because she's herself been in his situation.
She
She
knows
knows
how
how much it sucks, and she can't bring herself to be mean to him because.
To force him to do
Yeah.
something. Yeah. It would almost be better if someone like us was to help him because we've never been.
Do you think the way that David was so like negligent about her when she was depressed kind of is influencing the way that she's caring for Henry now that he's depressed?
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe. I mean, it's certainly like, I guess maybe she's just unconsciously following the way she's been treated because it's not like there's a manual for this. Like,
Well, there is, but it doesn't really work. Probably
yeah, exactly.
it works on like.
There's a manual for caring for people that are depressed. There's not a manual for caring for a deeply depressed, almost Major League Baseball player who's the best friend of your boyfriend who you're not sleeping with.
Yeah.
They're not really boyfriend and girlfriend anymore.
Wait, that's almost like the Doctor Who gifts where it's all of the relations.
Oh my god, it totally is.
Everything is a Doctor Who.
The world is a Doctor Who.
It is. Which is not necessarily a good thing, but
It's not a healthy way to live.
I did
broke her.
I did break her a little bit, and I'm really proud of that.
Did you not watch Doctor Who before you met Aiden?
No,
I started watching Doctor Who in February.
She's gotten through 5.5 seasons, which isn't that much of an accomplishment.
It's not that.
relative, because like I got through 7 seasons of West Wing in like a month. But
See, I'm afraid to start watching Doctor Who because I think I'll get like addicted to it and know.
Oh, you might,
you
but
will. You
it's kind of
you
worth
should
it
still
though.
watch it.
What?
Josh got mad at me because I reblogged too much stuff and it was covering up all of his sailing posts. Josh is a little insane. Okay,
You're covering up my pictures of boats.
moving back to the book.
We might not be able to use this video for any sort of.
No, I would stop filming if it was you.